Good morning. Kenyans who have lived in this country long enough and therefore who have visited hospitals also for a fairly long amount of time ought not let this COVID 19 debate, as we might call it, lose momentum. We know what hospitals mean, we know the pandemic is only abated by laxity, and we also know that doctors are not enough even to tackle the normal diseases. So let's keep the narrative high. We want to hear the government saying that the threshold which was set by President Uhuru Kenyatta in terms of maintaining a certain number of wards and isolation units is actually achieved. And if achieved, therefore, it must only increase because that's not the last pandemic. We were actually alerted during the pandemic that there's actually the existence of a national influenza center. And influenza means there could be so many other kinds of viral diseases which can be epidemics or which can scale up to be actually pandemics. So we can't afford to lose that debate or narrative, as it were. We left off when not professor, but the CS Mutai Kagwe was giving guidelines, was giving reports alongside his colleague Nancy Mwangangi. So that debate must not actually wane. If you use public transport or if you are one Kenyan also who is bound to be in crowded areas, I think that matter must actually be in your mind every other day. It doesn't mean that if we don't see masks anymore, that the pandemic is non-existent or the disease is non-existent. We are only uh, maybe not being alerted enough. The signals have reduced, but we actually don't have to forget about that. The Western nations, especially the United States, can't afford to because it has the leading number of cases. And if you listen to the news daily, they all actually report on coronavirus almost on a daily or every other 2 days basis. So you kind of want that narrative to continue. And this means the pressmen should actually press the leaders to give us a report on what is the current state of affairs, what is the current number of wards, isolation units, those rare gadgets that we normally use in treatment. I remember there was even a scarcity of what we were calling the ventilators, and some nations even had to transform their factories, car factories, imagine, to manufacture ventilators. So this narrative must not stop, even as we are waiting for the appointment of the CES.